Welcome to Growing Bremerton Together with Mayor Patty Lent. I have two special guests today. The first is Marilyn Anderson. She's the tennis commissioner for the West Sound Senior Games taking place from July 9th to 12th. My second guest is Kurt Larson. He is the director of sales and marketing for Silver City Brewery. We're going to talk about the 12th of July and our Bremerton Summer Brew Fest. Stay with me. Welcome to Growing Bremerton Together with Mayor Patty Lent. My special guest today is Marilyn Anderson. She's the tennis commissioner for the West Sound Senior Games. Welcome, Marilyn.
Well, thank you very much. It's really good to be here.
And to know that these games have been going on for 10 years.
Yes.
That's something that not enough people know about. But before we get to the games, I want to learn a little bit about your life. I understand you were born and raised in Tacoma,
Yes.
or Spanaway.
Right.
And did you play tennis throughout school, or was it
No.
later in life?
I started playing tennis as a senior citizen. I've been playing tennis for about 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Still growing. I'm still advancing my game and becoming a better player, I hope.
What other interests did you have when you were in Tacoma before coming to Bremerton?
Well, I was raised on a dairy farm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was number 2 of 9 children. So we didn't have a lot of, other than church activities and limited school activities, I didn't do much. But as I blossomed as a senior citizen, it's endless, all the fun things that I do. I've started dancing. I do ballroom style dancing.
Mm-hmm.
It's called round dancing with my husband. And we have traveled all over the country to dance and started tennis when we had room between our dancing, and now tennis is my most favorite thing to do.
Is round dancing anything like square dancing?
It's done in conjunction with square dancing.
Mm-hmm.
They do square dancing, and they do 2 rounds of square dancing, and then they do 2 rounds of round dancing. And it's cued dancing. So everybody in the room is dancing the same steps at the same time.
That probably
great.
gave you that light-footedness for your tennis.
It helps. Sometimes it hinders, but sometimes it helps.
Is your husband involved in the senior games?
Yes, he is.
But he's not on the commission in any way.
No, he assists me.
That's great. Now, if it's been going for 10 years, that's 10 years in Bremerton. There's an international or a national
Right.
senior games.
And
Tell
we
us-
do have a state games, and they will be played next month, I believe, in Olympia. And it's bigger than what we are. We're just this little section of real estate, but anybody can come to our games.
How'd they get started?
You know, I'm not really certain. Holly Peterson through the Senior Center was the main person in charge for
We know
many,
Holly
many years.
very well.
And then Monica Sorensen took it over about 3 years ago. And she's burning out, so we're going to be looking for somebody else to take it over next year. This is done mostly by volunteers. There's no paid staff doing our senior games here.
So how are they organized?
Well,
The
I stepped
volunteers-
into it. It was already organized, but it's the volunteers that organize it. And at this point, it's Monica. Monica needs to find a commissioner for each of the different sports. We're up to 15 sports now. And so we get these brochures printed up through the Sheridan, through the park system at Sheridan. And the Senior Center is where we make our deposits. On Nipsic Avenue, this is where you will turn in your forms with your check to be part of our games. It's something that I think came from the Bremerton senior community.
That's great, because we have a lot of seniors, and I know we've got different programs that we've had throughout our Parks and Recreation Department. So that's where they would register for the games. Is there any criteria? Do you have to select a game before you register, or can you participate in more than one?
Oh, you can participate in all of them. We have one woman, Anita Halverson. She likes to enter all of the competitions. It's a little tricky because we're only doing this from Wednesday through Saturday morning.
And what are those dates, Marilyn?
July 9th through the 12th this year.
So just a month away.
Oh, it's coming up quickly. And we're looking for more people that want to come and join our sports. We're looking for more people to sponsor us. We're looking for help.
So name some of the actual items or that the people participate in. So what are the relays or the racing or the tennis? You said there are 15.
We start with a 5K, and it's a 5K walk or a run, and that's done right there at the fairgrounds. So they have a course laid out, and Anybody age 50 and up may join. We do have several people that participate in their 80s, and they are given awards according to age category. So there's an age category 50 to 55 and on up. Every 5 years is an age category. Medals are given just like in the Olympics for first, second, and third place. And we have actual medals. We actually award you a medal.
You know, that's exciting for our seniors. Besides the 5K, name a few of the other things that they participate.
Well, people like horseshoes.
Horseshoes?
Yeah, horseshoes is a fun thing. Badminton, tennis. Last year we added pickleball. Swimming is big. And
where do you swim?
Well, they're going to swim this year at the Olympic pool, Olympic High School. Then we have track and field is big. And this year we're doing that at the Bremerton High School. They have that beautiful track down there. They've got all the special timing equipment. They've got starter pistols, and they have all different types of things that you can do there. There's all the different track and field, all the different racing and relays. There's jousting, there's throwing things. There's the long jump, all kinds of different things in track and field.
So everything that you might see in the Olympic Games are here for our seniors.
We try to do it. This year we've also added line dancing, and that's done at the Bremerton Center. There's 8-ball, that's the playing pool. We have ping pong. There's a bicycle race, and that's the one thing that's done in Paulsbo. So most of the other things are done in Bremerton. We have disc golf. And they do that up
at the NAD Park.
At the NAD Park, right. And that's amongst the trees and everything, so it's really fun. There's miniature golf, and that's done off of Wagga Way down here. So all these different sports. Racquetball and tennis are both at the tennis club.
How could someone, how are you getting sponsors when you said we have more people we want to be contestants? And then what about the sponsorships?
Well, we're always looking for more sponsors. We need people to help us financially, as well as when you register, you get a t-shirt, you get a goodie bag. And so we like to have little goodies to put in the bags. We need somebody to donate bags. I mean, it's some of the simple things that make it work for us. And then you get dinner. We end up our season, our Saturday night is a dinner catered by Ambrosia's, and Ambrosia does a great job.
They do a great job.
At the Baymont Inn. And the Baymont Inn also has rooms at reduced rates for our people that want to travel or stay close to our events.
And there are people that come from out of town. It isn't just a Bremerton. So it does draw from the peninsula as well as maybe from Seattle or other parts of the state.
People can come from anywhere. We had people that came from out of our peninsula area for the track and field because they were going to state and they wanted to use this as a practice venue. So we have people that are very serious about this, and then we have people that just have fun. I have to tell you just about horseshoes last year. Because we do go all the way into the 80s for these people. There was one lady that entered horseshoes, and she couldn't throw the horseshoe from the starting line all the way across the pit, so they let her go halfway in, and she got to throw her horseshoe from halfway in. And that made it kind of fun. We work with our people.
And because it's age-centric, you're in an age bracket and you're not competing someone 50 and someone 80.
That's correct.
It makes it a little more fun and more competitive for your age group.
It's great fun. And I would encourage more of you viewers to come out and try the Senior Olympics. It is great fun, and we want you to be healthy and happy and have a good time.
Well, with your enthusiasm, I do want to share with you, Marilyn, that one of our former council members, Mike Shepard, was very involved in the Senior Games while he was on council as well as after he retired from council. So we have someone that has been out there promoting it. I'm sure that for a number of years he was involved in those Senior Games.
Oh, I'm sure, yes.
So I would just want to say it's fun for you to be with us, to talk about the things that are going on. We have a busy summer this summer, and these are something new. So from the 9th
through the 12th. You can go online at www.bwssg.com, and this will be on your screen. Or you can call the Bremerton Senior Center on Nipsic. You can pick up these flyers at the Sheridan Community Center, or you can get them online.
They're on our website.
Yep.
Marilyn, how fun for you. I wish you the very best this season. And I'm coming up right after is when they finish these games, besides the dinner, we also have a brew fest taking place in Bremerton. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Growing Bremerton Together with Mayor Patty Lent. My second half of the program includes Kurt Larson. He's the marketing agent. He does all the marketing for Silver City Brewery. They're in Silverdale, but their brewery is in the city of Bremerton. We're glad to have him, and he's going to tell us about the Brewfest coming up on July 12th.
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Patty.
You're welcome.
And Kurt Larson, I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing. It's a long title, and I work directly for the brewery in Bremerton. We're very happy to be in Bremerton. That's where our brew production is, and folks may not know that we have a tap room there, so we can get you more details as we talk as far as where that's at. But first off, I'd just like to say that the Bremerton Summer Beer Fest, our 4th year coming up here, just under a month, or just about a month away, wouldn't be possible with yours truly. The mayor was and is and continues to be so instrumental in not only opening the doors to Bremerton to do that, but helping with the facilitation and the marketing. You name it, top to bottom. There wouldn't be a Bremerton Summer Beer Fest if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that. But let's go back to when you were a little kid. You grew up on Hood Canal.
Yes, I did.
And then went to CK.
Yeah, I went to Seebeck Elementary, and then went to CK Junior High, and then Olympic High School. Yeah.
And so you've stayed around all this time.
Well, not all this time. I actually lived in San Diego for about 10 years. That's actually kind of how I got into the beer world.
I was going to ask you, when did you join the brewing side?
Yeah, that was back in 2006. I actually ended up in San Diego. I had a friend that lived down there that he basically said, come to San Diego. It's, beaches and palm trees and good times, and it was the right age for that. And I went down there with Black Angus Steakhouse and worked for them for about 13 years, and had a great journey with them and a great experience. And a good friend of mine that I went to high school, his name's Will Berry, actually, he works for Sierra Nevada still to this day. He came down to Southern California. We were roommates for a while, and then he went up to LA. He went to work for Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and lo and behold, an opening came for the market manager for San Diego for Sierra Nevada. They're based out of Chico, California. For the craft beer fans out there, I'm sure you know what Sierra Nevada is.
Yes.
And he said, "Yeah, we're hiring down there. You need to interview." And I said, "Yes, I do." And this is a buddy of mine that years ago we used to joke about working for breweries so we could enjoy beer for free, talking about fulfilling the dream. But at any rate, interviewed and just loved the industry, the people, the experience, beer, and worked for them for a few years and had a great experience down there. But I definitely had my heart and my eyes on getting back home in some capacity. And lo and behold, Silver City was looking to do some outside sales, obviously been mostly the restaurant and pub focus there in Silverdale. And I sent them a resume without any knowledge of them even looking, and said, "Hey, if you need any help, I have this experience. It's my hometown. I know your beers are great. Love to help out." They called me back in 15 minutes, and been working with them since 2009. So
great brothers. And so when they thought, we want to expand, they're kind of limited to where they can expand. Great food, great restaurant, and then the brewery. We were excited for the city to have its own brewery.
Yes.
And you've done some remarkable things with that. In your marketing choice, you've worked with our Gold Mountain Golf Course, and there's even a crafted beer. So tell me a little about that.
Well, the Gold Mountain Pilsner is actually one of the original beers that Don Spencer, our brewmaster from the onset, he brewed that as one of the original recipes, original beers that was offered at the restaurant. So it's been around for some time. And we work with Columbia Hospitality. We're their brewery partner for the convention center and also the golf course. And when we brew that beer, which has been typically rather limited as of the past few years, just as different styles come in and we constantly evolving and changing, it became a beer that was brewed less frequently. So when we do, we always set aside a good lot for the golf course, and typically corresponds with summers. As you know, the weather gets beautiful out there. They're a wonderful venue for events and weddings and whatnot in their little convention center room there. And obviously the course is one of the best in Washington as far as my experience.
Next year, the U.S. Open is going to be held at Chambers Bay. We were one of the first golf courses to pick up on that, and so that Gold Mountain Brew is going to be perfect to have with our golf course while people are practicing before they go out.
Absolutely.
Let's talk now locally. So that
Sure.
Brew Fest, it's our 4th year, and when you said that I was part of the very initial, we did bid on that. We were looking at Everett, a couple other cities, and Bremerton thought we're right on top of being a Brew Fest. We were revitalized, we had new streetscapes, we were ready for a Brew Fest. So you, along with Carlos
Absolutely.
Hara, and also the Beer Commission, Washington State Beer Commission, they came, we made our presentation, and we were very successful. We've learned over these years that they have criteria that says we want to make this amount of money. Knowing that, we're even out marketing sooner. We're selling tickets faster. Tell us a little bit about this year. How many breweries are we going to have on July 12th?
On July 12th at the Bremerton Summer Beer Fest, I believe that the count is at 30 at this point in time. There will be typically anywhere from 2 to 10 different beers per brewery. Typically try to keep a bare minimum of 2 to 4. We'll be pretty robust because we want to have a lot of variety. And as far as the difference from years past, I know you've been instrumental working with Eric Radovich with the Washington Beer Commission in changing some of the street layout, which is, I think that's really exciting. I think there's a lot more user-friendly access to the businesses, so we're very mindful, and you've been very mindful of the business partners that are downtown. So it's accommodating for not only the experience of the beer festival, but fest goers' experience of downtown Bremerton, which
we have a new street on Pacific that goes all the way to the park. Having said that, they can come off the ferry, they can walk up to the Brew Fest. We're going to have music, and this year each one of the breweries is going to have something unique. What is the special for 2014?
Well, it's called a Randall. It's pretty different concept. I mean, folks again that may be out and about and seeking out local craft beer may have experienced this. It's actually a filter device that we hook up with our pouring apparatus that allows us to do different infusions with beers, and there'll be just a swath of variety of different presentations from brewery to brewery, from doing hops to fruit to cocoa nibs to bacon. I mean, all sorts of interesting appeal. And then the wonderful thing about it too is not only you get this different flavor experience with the beers that you'll have the opportunity to try, but it has a wonderful display. It's actually typically they're made from hot water filters. So they're clear, so you can see everything that's happening.
And watch it.
Yeah, the beer goes in, goes right into your cup, and you get to experience it. And we're going to be doing our St. Florian IPA with tropical fruit, and I believe we'll do some fresh cone hop in there too. So we get a more robust hop character, even though that beer has a wonderful hop bouquet as it is, and then some nice juicy, crisp, refreshing flavor that will fit wonderfully with the warm weather that we're going to have.
Last year we had coffee, and every brewery had some kind of a coffee beer. I'm looking forward to the fruit because I think that infusion is something that people want, that crisp taste. We're expecting many, many more. I know the tickets are $20.
Yes.
And they're on sale now. Can you tell us a few of the outlets that have them for sale?
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Right now, it's online through the Washington Beer Commission site. You can go to their website, and that has all of the Washington Beer Commission beer festivals annually. And if I could just speak to the Washington Beer Commission real quick, because it is such a unique and wonderful entity that our state does. In fact, it's the only such entity in the United States. And the Washington Beer Commission is a nonprofit entity that's under the management of the Department of Agriculture. Promoting Washington breweries, selling more beer helps sell more Washington grown hops, which about somewhere around 85% of the hops that are grown nationally are grown in Washington. You also have your barley malts, which Eastern Washington is a big producer of as well. So the more we can promote Washington breweries, the more we can help the farmers. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. And we have this wonderful group with the Washington Beer Commission, headed by Eric Radovich, as well as Matt Russell on down the line, and a lot of brewery owners and managers and brewmasters that are part of the committees that help manage these events. So if you go to the website, you'll get to see all the different events that are happening annually. In fact, this weekend, the biggest annually is called the Washington Brewers Fest. It's over at Merrimore Park in Redmond.
It's the biggest.
And the wonderful thing about that being so big as it is, which is great in and of itself, is that will help us promote the Bremerton Beer Fest. Where we're going to be very engaging. It's the first time they've separated all the tents by region, so we'll have our West Sound tent.
Oh, that's terrific.
And we'll be making sure that we're spreading the good word. We'd love to have folks come visit us over here in Bremerton.
You
and hop
can
the
tell
ferry.
he's a marketer because it's Father's Day weekend. It's the biggest brew fest that we have in the state of Washington. The Washington State Beer Commission promotes all of these summer brew fests, and anyone that goes there for Father's Day can buy tickets and then end up July 12th
Yes.
after our senior games with us tasting these different brews. We're going to have live music. We're going to have great weather. We're going to have some little tidbits, and of course, all our restaurants will be open. Another successful year. And I
Absolutely.
want to thank you, Kurt, for being with us. We want to thank Silver City Brewery. Bremerton's the largest city in the peninsula, and yet we only have one brewery to our name. So, well, we have Deerbloken. I take that back. We have, and that's right in my little Manette hometown. But when talk about capacity and what you've been doing with the Beer Commission, it's great. Deerbloken will be in the Brew Festival.
Absolutely.
So nobody will miss out.
No, I think we're going to have probably one of our best turnouts. More beers to choose from, as we mentioned, the Randall beers. You won't want to miss that experience. And for locals, we get into the summer. There's so many different things and events and options. We have such a wonderful community here on the Kitsap Peninsula, but this is the one you don't want to miss, especially for the beer fans. It's a great time, and for folks that may be coming across the ferry, that's one of the things that we talk about this time of year. Any of the events that we do in Seattle, the Washington Beer Festival, it's a great case in point. We'll be telling folks, drive down to the ferry, park your car, or even take a cab down, however you can get down there from the other side.
Right.
Get on that ferry, have a nice cold beer on the ferry on the way over, and then walk up to the beer festival and experience not only the beer fest, but all the great experience of what Bremerton is and what it's continuing to evolve to be.
I'm only going to change that, Kurt, that I want them to have a chowder on the boat and save your palate for all the brew that you can taste when you're at the Brew Festival. We've got special moorage for those that want to come in by boat. We've got the ferries, we've got the buses, we've got every mode of transportation that you could possibly want to get to Bremerton on the 12th from noon until 6 o'clock. And the Admiral Theater has a special event afterwards. So there couldn't be a better day or a better time to explore and find out 30 different breweries that are the taste of a lifetime. Kurt, thanks for being my guest.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you next time with Growing Bremerton Together and the Mayor, Patty Lent.
Thank you.